The meeting continued with the second question as Yu Lingjun spread his arms, concentrating spiritual energy into a ring of light. Casting a spell, a scene began to slowly emerge within the spell's circle of light. The image revealed was an empty, eerily dark village.
This place has recently become quite notorious. Spirits roam wildly, their resentment soaring to the skies. It's a den for ghostly beings to wreak havoc. We can't just let this continue.
If I remember correctly, this village is in the Eastern Realm?
Li Qingfeng casually waved his white fan, looking meaningfully at you. The Eastern Realm, that's your territory, yet you're clueless. You pressed a hand to your forehead, signaling that you had a headache. Busy with managing your disciple's bloodline, you had no time for your own affairs. And now, this issue has been thrust upon you. Despite the headache, you must show that you are willing to deal with your responsibilities.
I'll handle this ghost village. I assure you all.
Seeing your unease, Dan Xingyang looked at you worriedly.
This ghost village seems more complicated than it appears. The spirits inside have accumulated a lot of power. They don't look easy to deal with. Chen, do you need our help?
Given your past temperament, everyone expected a proud, confident refusal. But instead,
Yes, I might have to trouble Qingyang and everyone present when the time comes.
out of sight, a hint of a smile flickered across your eyes. After all, you understand the difficulty of working alone. Since you arrived in this world, you've been bustling about this past month, with no time for cultivation. After helping Mo Li obtain the power of his inheritance, you've suffered significant internal injuries. To enhance your resistance to the poison in your body, once you finished the temple affairs, you went to Taohua Ridge, a place known for refining spiritual energy. Just as you settled under a peach tree to meditate, a familiar voice echoed in your mind.
Host.
What is it?
I forgot to tell you, the original host had an old flame.
As someone who's been single since birth, the corners of your mouth twitch. You respond indifferently.
Well, not anymore.
Here they come.
After those words, the system vanishes from your consciousness. While you're still confused, suddenly it goes dark as a pair of hands cover your eyes. Who would dare do this to the Lord of the Eastern Realm? Recalling the system's words, your mood becomes unspeakably complex.
Xiao Qinchin, I'm here.
Xiao, Chen, you internally curse, having spent too much time with rough men and barely any with the feminine allure. Your heart races like a herd of llamas sprinting through. Sensing your stiff posture, the beautiful lady in red kindly releases you. Approaching, she gazes at you seductively, acting sad.
Xiao Qinchin, what's wrong? Why do you seem so cold?
You step back subtly, maintaining a good distance. Meanwhile, your brain quickly sifts through the original host's information. Indeed, there was an association with the lady in red, whose name is Yi Xingyi. She treated the original host well, but he did not really like her. He only used her to find the 5 ghost spirits. That's right, how could you forget? The original host intended to use the 5 ghost spirits to extract Mo Li's ghostly power to enhance his own cultivation. Unfortunately, before he could act, Mo Li had become the Ghost King and gruesomely slaughtered him. Since the 5 ghost spirits can be used to extract Mo Li's cultivation, it would be perfect if you had them. But you don't intend to harm others for personal gain. You just wanted to cripple Mo Li's cultivation to achieve your goal. You disdain the idea of becoming the supreme being of heaven and earth, reigning over the 3 realms. Seeing you distracted, Yi Xingyi looks displeased and tugs at your clothing, pouting lightly.
Xiao Qinchin, woo.
You look down at Yi Xingyi, who appears pitifully in front of you. You plan to. You dislike deceiving other people, especially exploiting a girl for the 5 ghost spirits. It's just despicable. You can't continue with this. You sigh softly, about to say something.
Xiao Qinchin, are you upset I haven't obtained the 5 ghost spirits quickly enough?
No.
Are you sure? You were so cold to me last time because of this.
You know the 5 ghost spirits aren't easy to obtain, but for you, I'd climb a mountain of swords. I'd climb down.
She gets more and more enthusiastic as she speaks, prompting you to interrupt. Miss, I'm not a good man. please don't waste your sincerity on me. If this were modern times, it would roughly mean it's not you, it's me.
What if I want to? I don't care.
Falling for someone who sees no future with you, who doesn't hold you in their heart, will hurt you.
This sentence freezes Yi Xingyi's smile instantly, a fleeting emotion crossing her eyes. She recovers quickly, widening her eyes in surprise.
Xiao Qianqian, you actually…
You frown slightly, not understanding what you said wrong.
What's wrong?
My Xiao Qianqian, you actually care about me, woo-woo.
Suddenly, a system alarm goes off in your head.
Warning. The character is beginning to suspect the host's identity.
Great, one moment of concern and she starts doubting. Maybe Yi Xingyi has masochistic tendencies? Wasn't she so touched by my words just now?
Is this the proverbial complexity of a woman's heart?
Having no choice, you. With the system taking over, even the background music changes. You slowly open your eyes and see Yi Xingyi crying before you. You speak with evident distaste.
Yi Xingyi, stay away from me.
Your tone is as cold as ice, contrasting sharply with your earlier demeanor. As expected, Yi Xingyi immediately stops crying.
Have you gathered the 5 ghost spirits?
Yi Xingyi appears hurt.
Xiao Qianqian, I…
Hearing these words, you wrinkle your brow in disgust. Your piercing gaze strikes like an icy blade, shattering Yi Xingyi's fledgling self-respect.
Master of the Eastern Realm, so far I have only found the greedy ghost spirit.
The 5 ghost spirits are incredibly difficult to find, let alone convince them to willingly give themselves to you. Doubtful, you extend your hand toward Yi Xingyi, gesturing for her to hand it over. Yi Xingyi obediently presents it to you. You smile satisfactorily, the ruthlessness in your eyes enough to make demons shudder.
Leave.
Yi Xingyi departs dejectedly, unable to understand why you, who was such a gentleman just now, had suddenly reverted to your old self. You were just stowing away the spirit and about to turn around when Emoli approached you with a bag of fresh fruit, his smile radiating brilliantly. Unfortunately, his smile to your eyes was exceedingly harsh.
Master, I've just picked these fresh fruits. Try some.
You didn't move an inch, waiting for him with an air of superiority and disdain in your demeanor.
Little Emo, your cultivation has improved quite a bit recently, eh? Look, you can already gather a layer of spiritual energy around you.
Your odd tone and expression left Emoli somewhat dazed, yet he responded earnestly.
Yes, thanks to Master's guidance, I've been able to advance my cultivation so swiftly.
Your face subtly shifted, a flicker of confusion in your eyes, but it was quickly replaced by a profound smile as you took out a red medicine bottle and said to him,
But it's not enough. This is a cultivation-boosting medicine I've found for you. By taking it, you'll be able to break through your current limits.
Emoli's gaze fell upon the bottle. His smile momentarily stiffened, but then he returned to normal almost instantly. He was smiling back at you.
Master, I'll take it later when I return.
No, you must take it now.
Emoli didn't know how to describe his present feelings. Having come back a second time, how could he not understand what this medicine was? In his past life, it was after consuming this on the very night that you struck where his powers sealed. And then you continued to nearly torture him to death. He once naively thought that you had changed, and he almost believed that you had.
As expected, I shouldn't have hoped for anything from him.
He wasn't a fool, so he discreetly suppressed his own acupuncture points before ingesting the medicine. Seeing him take it, you were satisfied. Emoli's expression turned somber, his lips tightly pursed, his voice noticeably colder.
Master, then I shall take my leave now.
You nodded. And at this moment, the system's automated time ended, and your consciousness slowly returned. Having been disconnected from your body for a while, you felt somewhat disoriented. Once fully awake, you caught sight of Emoli's extremely unpleased expression and muttered to yourself.
What did I do?
Adhering to the principle of secrecy, the system concocted a white lie.
You bullied him.
That's great. Now your apprentice has another reason to want to kill you. And before your consciousness left, wasn't it Yi Xingyi in front of you? How did it change to Emoli, and where did she go? The system, feeling a bit sorry for you, kindly informed you.
Yi Xingyi has already left.
You subtly felt your sword repelling something, as though it was at odds with an object. Prompted by the system, you pulled out a spirit from your body with mixed feelings.
Did I steal this?
This is just too distressing. Yi Xingyi left the peach grove, but she didn't return to her so-called ghost inn. Instead, she directly entered the southern realm's Taohua estate. The disciples of the estate, accustomed to strange sights, greeted her with respectful salutations. Her red garments gradually faded away, and a simple, elegant, goose-yellow robe flitted in the breeze. What were once provocative, silky eyes transformed into passionate, peach blossom-like eyes. The same exquisite face, but a different air of suaveness. He perched on a peach tree, holding a folded fan, smiling unrestrained in the direction of Lingyuan City.
Little Chen, it's really quite exhausting to perform in front of you. I've given you the spirit so easily, yet I gained nothing in return.
As he thought of something, Lu Qingfeng, the Lord of the Southern Realm, smiled profoundly. Now with serious matters at hand, you began preparations for investigating the ghost village and cleansing the malevolent spirits there. As the master of the Eastern Realm, such tasks would not typically require your personal attention. But now, you are no longer the original owner of this body. The ghost village is indeed dangerous, but it does contain a herb called the spirit pearl grass. In the original story, it was because Mo Li had obtained this herb that his cultivation could progress so swiftly. And it wasn't just his cultivation that improved. Mo Li also seized the opportunity to gain some power. The ragtag group from the ghost village respected and feared him, loyally following his lead. They contributed significantly to Mo Li's apocalyptic deeds later on. So, keeping Mo Li in the dark, you plan to head to the ghost village alone and subdue the malevolent spirits Thuyu before he does, to prevent his ghostly power from expanding limitlessly. Using the cover of dusk, you arrived in the mortal world just as day broke. You entered in bustling with people. Preferring serenity, you immediately went to a private seat on the second floor. Just as you sat down, another wave of patrons surged in, and suddenly the second floor was full again. The cacophony around you caused a vein in your forehead to throb, and you took a deep breath to calm down before casually ordering some tea.
Honored guest, would you like to order anything else?
You're a divine being, and so you cannot feel hunger. And nor do you have an appetite, but you can't afford to seem too out of place. After coughing lightly, you ordered a few small dishes. As the waiter turned to leave, he accidentally bumped into a young man. The newcomer had a carefree, knight-errant vibe, a sword in hand, and a relaxed smile. Unperturbed by the collision, he casually glanced at the waiter. Just as the waiter was about to scold the man for not watching where he was going, he swallowed his words upon recognizing his face.
Young Master Qing, you've arrived.
Oh, please, there's no need for that. I don't want your kisses. I am, after all, married.
With that, he approached you under the watchful eyes of everyone, his smile as bright as ever. Feeling the surrounding intense scrutiny, you lifted your gaze in confusion, only to meet his. The corner of your mouth twitches. Trouble comes calling. This cheerful young man settled down across from you without any reservations. Noticing your discomfort, Qing dropped his jovial facade and turned to the focused crowd, shouting,
Stop staring. My beloved might get shy.
You felt an inexplicable desire to throw him out. Finally, when the crowd's attention was diverted, your expression cooled rapidly, and you turned to Qing, he expressionless.
Young master, please watch your words.
Despite this, Qing kept his unabashed smile, no longer flirting as recklessly as before.
Don't be so serious. It was just a joke, but you do have a very handsome face. If you're willing, you can be my wife.
Young Master Qinghe, my medical skills are decent. Do you need me to treat your eye problem?
I just meant to say that you're quite handsome. Everyone has a love for beauty, haha.
You sigh softly, preferring to remain silent. Being a broad-minded person, you decide not to dwell on the matter. Quietly sipping tea, you close your eyes to rest your mind. Across from you, Qinghe obviously can't stand the silence. Resting his face in his hands, he stares at you, his gaze a mixture of scrutiny and curiosity, as if you were an animal in the zoo. Unable to bear it any longer, you open your eyes and look at him coldly, getting straight to the point.
Young Master Qing, you?
Don't be angry, I'm just really bored, haha. By the way, I still don't know your name.
Finding him rather chatty, you know your peace has been disrupted. You don't bother meditating any longer.
My name is Qinghe.
Just call me Aunt Chen.
Ah Chen, what a nice name! You seem quite distinguished, surely you're not of the human race? Don't frown, I mean no harm. Although I don't know why you've come to the human realm, feel free to reach out if you need my help.
You didn't expect this person to be so perceptive.
Also, if you're staying at an inn, don't go out at night.
Why?
There's a rundown village on the outskirts, teeming with vengeful spirits known as the Ghost Village. At night, they roam the city, preying on those who don't make it home. They drain their victims' vital energy. These malevolent spirits have been committing evil for a long time. I've come here to exterminate them.
Speaking of this, Qinghe's hand unconsciously reaches to his left, as if stroking something. You catch a glimpse of a sword from the corner of your eye.
Your sword.
You noticed, huh? This sword is incredibly powerful. It was passed down to me by my master. My master is a renowned demon slayer, working selflessly for the well-being of humankind.
His tone is full of pride. You've got it figured out. Just a wealthy youth eager to fight demons. But these treacherous waters are not for him to wade into. If not careful, he could be in grave danger. But knowing his stubborn nature, he's unlikely to heed your advice. All you can do is look out for him along the way, ready to teleport him out if necessary. Seeing that you seem to be full of worries, Qinghe confidently pats his chest and reassures you.
Don't worry! Before setting off, I especially paid homage to the guardian deity of our eastern realm. Success is certain.
He then shows you a portrait of the so-called guardian deity. Seeing the deity depicted as an old man, the corners of your mouth twitch. You realize that people don't know your true appearance, but it surely isn't that of an old man. With a silent sigh, you speak.
I'll accompany you. We'll set off tonight. Stick close to me. If you get lost and caught by the ghosts, I won't be able to save you.
These words irritate Qinghe.
I'm quite formidable, thank you. I don't need your protection, though you do seem more capable than I am. Wait, you're going too? That place is dangerous, you.
Without a word, you get up and leave to book a room and rest up for the night's battle. Unbeknownst to you, a white figure lingers not far away.
The Ghost Village.
Night falls, and you both easily reach Ghost Village. The entire way there, the two of you haven't seen a single soul. This is a place feared by the locals, so who would dare come close? Except, you glance sideways at Qinghe with a silent sigh. Just as you're about to move forward, footsteps approach. You stretch out your hand to stop Qinghe, who is on the verge of leaving. You cautiously furrow your brow at the figure emerging from the darkness.
Are you young heroes headed for the Ghost Village?
She seems to be just an ordinary mortal. You sense nothing unusual about her. Before you can reply, the ever-blunt Qinghe asks,
Yes. Are you going too?
I dare not. Ordinary people should avoid that place. I'm merely passing by and happened to see you. I thought you were lost and came over to kindly warn you, but I didn't expect you to actually intend to go to the Ghost Village. You must be aiming to eradicate the vengeful spirits.
Is there something you wish to tell us?
My mother told me that spirits become resentment, their souls unable to rest. If you are in any way connected to the source of their grudge, they will collectively target you. The only way to help them enter the cycle of reincarnation is to backbind the object of their hatred, let them exhaust their vengeful energy, and only then can they
Her words are an awakening for you, providing answers to your confusion. After thanking the girl, you and Qinghe move on. Unbeknownst to you, the girl's appearance begins to change back at her spot. Talking to smart people is easy. They get it so easily. Upon entering the village, Contrary to your expectations, it's brightly lit, with fiery red lanterns hanging outside each house. Despite this, the village is lifeless. Within 100 miles, there's no sign of living creatures, nor any sound. Not even the wind stirs. This village has formed a natural barrier, isolating everything from the outside while leaving the gates wide open for the living. Standing at the village entrance, you look on with a concerned expression. Noticing your concern, Ching-He's demeanor also turns grave.
Brother Chen, is it time to find their lair next?
Yes, we can probably track it, but
No buts! I hail from a line of demon slayers. This trivial matter won't stump me.
With that, the confident Ching, he draws his sword, cuts his palm, and uses the bloody blade to draw a formation on the ground. Soon, the formation emits red light, shooting out toward a direction.
Quick! Let's follow it!
With that, Ching, he rushes ahead. Silently, you grab him and then summon your own sword, lifting both of you as you swiftly pursue the red light. Your spiritual sword catches up quickly. You discover the spirit's gathering point is at a hall. Ching, he disembarks and surveys the grounds with a grim expression.
Brother Chen, this place is heavy with resentment, and my intuition tells me.
Before he finishes, a ghostly hand from a coffin nearby seizes Ching-He's leg with such force that he falls to the ground. He cries out in pain and tries to unsheath his sword to free himself, but a red light launches from the coffin and enters his body. The attack happens too fast for you to react. The spirits possess Ching-He right before your eyes. Your professional instincts kick in. For the first time, you feel an urge to kill. You take 3 steps back, channel your energy, and prepare to cast a spell. To do so, you must revert to your original form. With your spiritual level, tearing down this entire place wouldn't be an issue. But these spirits won't let you do that so easily. Controlled by them, Ching-He seeks only to tear you apart. As you begin the ritual, he rushes at you, his presence reeking of decay. You frown slightly, realizing you need to identify and deal with the controlling spirit first. Consider your next move. Considering the situation, the simplest solution would be to level the entire charitable hall. That's your plan, so you execute it. You manifested your magical weapon, the Snow Soul Sword, and cast spells in the sky to completely destroy the entire hall. Ching-He, who was originally pursuing you, suddenly froze in place, his gaze empty. You breathed a sigh of relief and were about to check on him. But then, he went berserk again, this time much more violently than before. At that moment, your surroundings turned into a sinister blood red, and the air faintly smelled of blood, intensifying your unease. The body was still Ching-He's, so you couldn't bring yourself to harm it, especially with your powerful magic. With a mere flick of your wrist, and Ching-He might be meeting the king of hell. Unable to attack, you had no choice but to defend. Before Ching-He launched another attack, you quickly embedded Snow Soul into the ground and closed your eyes to arrange the formation. Your appearance reverted back as your blinding spell dissipated. A sturdy azure barrier enveloped you, not so easily broken since it was forged from your sword's power. But for the moment, your power was also restrained. Slowly opening your eyes, you saw Ching-He hurtling his body against the barrier without care. The barrier, formed from your sword's spiritual energy, rebounded the damage, and soon enough, Ching-He was covered in blood. The cunning spirit possessing him had orchestrated a scenario where you'd turn on each other to reap the benefits. It was betting that you wouldn't hurt a companion. Your mood plunged below freezing at the sight of Ching-He's blood. Your lips pressed tight, your brows furrowed. But that wasn't the worst part. Suddenly, a dense crowd appeared around you, more like puppets controlled by the spirits than people. Drawn by the scent of blood, their organized approach made it obvious that someone was behind this. One Ching-He was enough trouble. Now there was a whole gang. For some reason, you felt like laughing as you clenched your fists and ground your teeth.
they really think highly of me.
Now forced to confront them head-on, yet unable to take their lives, your fighting was restricted. It was only a matter of time before they found and exploited a vulnerability. Despite knowing the outcome, you had to proceed. Facing the puppets rushing madly towards you, you grabbed the nearby snow soul, pulling it out and leaping into the air. Your sword's energy swept out, causing substantial impact as you hurled Frost in midair. But no matter what you did, as long as they weren't dead, they would keep coming at you, a relentless headache. And your strength was finite. Finally, after an hour of exhausting combat, you gasped for breath, your sword half embedded in the ground to support you. At that moment, you failed to notice that the red light that had merged into Qing, he burst out and rushed toward you. Just as the red light was about to pierce into you, you sensed the danger, but it was too late. Your pupils contracted as the light aimed for your eyes. Instinctively, you raised your sword to block, bracing for the incoming pain. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Then suddenly, the air around you stilled, the silence so profound you could hear your own heartbeat. The puppet's shriek ceased. Feeling something amiss, you slowly opened your eyes. It took some time for you to register the familiar figure in front of you. Emoli stood with a sword in front of you, his dark eyes brimming with endless chill as he watched the puppets. With his back to you, you couldn't see his expression, but you could sense the weakening presence of the spirits, some of them even dissolving. After a long while, you heard Emoli's usually pleasant voice, cold and detached.
You ghosts,
A mocking chuckle followed, laden with heavy scorn.
so restless even in death.
At these words, the puppets displayed agonized expressions as if recalling painful memories. Emoli's lips curled in a smile that didn't reach his eyes, which, if you looked closely, were filled with an unfathomable darkness.
Though it dirties my hands, I don't mind letting you die once more.
Die once more? What does he mean?
But before you could react, Emoli raised his hand, forming a massive red vortex in the air. The puppets, seeing it, tried to flee, but the vortex wasn't kind, its immense suction pulling away their spirits, leaving none spared. The less fortunate human souls were, fortunately, unharmed, merely unconscious and lying on the ground. You slowly stood up, deep in thought. Helping Qing, he to his feet, you used the last of your strength to heal him. He should not have been involved, and your guilt compelled you to treat his wounds. After the matter was settled, Emoli withdrew his soul-locking guidance, concealing the ruthlessness in his brows and returning to his usual docile self. His eyes curved, smiling brilliantly at you.
Master, I'm sorry for startling you.
Little Mo.
As you were about to say something, the sharp-eyed Emoli noticed the wound on your hand, his brows furrowing.
Master, you're injured.
You reassured him that it was nothing, preparing to heal yourself with a spell, but Emoli gently took your hand.
This is a poison unique to ghost kind. It spreads through the meridians when spiritual power is used, leading to a violent death. It's specifically potent against divine beings.
I'm curious as to who's behind this.
Master, don't bother yourself with this. I can cure this poison, but you'll need to endure for a moment.
Saying this, Emoli cut his wrist, dabbed some blood, and smeared it onto your wound. Anticipating your confusion, Emoli explained with a wry smile.
Master, have you forgotten? I am half human, half ghost.
As clever as you are, how could you not understand his meaning? Maybe sensing the mood was off, Emoli quickly changed the subject.
Master, why did you come to the mortal realm without telling me?
You coughed lightly, a hint of blush on your face. You were embarrassed yet composed.
I'll let it go this time, but you must promise me to tell me wherever you go in the future, so I can have peace of mind.
Thinking back to the situation just now made Emoli shudder with fear. You had come to the ghost village to retrieve a certain herb before Emoli. That's why you did not tell him, but it was he who ended up rescuing you.
I was under divine orders to eradicate the malevolent spirits in the ghost village.
Oh, is that all?
His probing gaze made you feel out of place, wondering what you might have misspoken. But before you could clarify, Emoli suddenly broke into a radiant smile.
Never mind, whatever Master says is always correct.
Chinga gradually came to, puzzled by the presence of the two unfamiliar handsome men.
Sir, have you seen a cultivator? He came here with me.
You coughed lightly, subtly embarrassed yet outwardly composed. And Emily still responded innocently.
A cultivator? What does he look like?
Pretty handsome, with 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth.
For that description, you give him full marks?
He's already left. Don't worry, he's safe. Young man, this place is dangerous. I'll help you get back. Leave these evil spirits to me. I'll bring them to justice. Do not come here again.
You're also here to deal with these spirits? Sorry about that. I seem to have caused more trouble.
You reassured him with a smile.
No, your presence solidified my previous suspicions. You weren't a hindrance.
You might seem cold, but you are kinder than many.
Such praise felt refreshing. After seeing Ching-He off and ensuring his safety, you let out a sigh of relief. Turning to Emily, you faced the long, uncertain road ahead with a deep gaze.
Let's go, Emily. We'll find a family to stay with and make our plans tomorrow. The spirits here haven't been completely eliminated yet.
All right.
Because you tangled with those puppets, you have suffered some internal injuries. And Emily, because he invoked his ghostly power, now has a murky aura and unstable internal energy. What you both desperately need now is a place to recuperate. Emily supports you to the nearest villa, Lingyun Villa. Upon arrival, you find the villa's gates tightly shut, unwelcoming to outsiders. Let's go, Xiaomo. Master, just a moment. Having said that, he helped you to rest under a tree before ascending the stone steps alone. Emily knocked on the door with no response. Persistent, he knocked several more times until the door was finally opened. May we stay for the night? The response is a resounding door slam. The corners of his mouth twitch in a cold smirk. Struggling, you manage to stand up, just as Emily turns around and sees you, quickly rushing to support you. Master, be careful. You plan to.
Master, you rest here for a while. I'll try knocking again.
I'll do it.
The moment you move, the door opens. The same servant who slammed the door now steps out respectfully.
Are the two of you seeking lodging? Please, come in.
Emily glances at him indifferently, sending a chill down the servant's spine. Inside, the villa's master is surprisingly hospitable.
The presence of such distinguished guests truly honors our villa.
After speaking, he steals a glance at Emily's expression. Noticing his displeasure, he chuckles apologetically toward Emily.
My apologies, young master. The doorkeeper is new to our villa and is unfamiliar with the rules.
Emily coldly smiles, sending a shiver down the master's spine. You plan to... This villa is the closest to the ghost village, presenting a good opportunity to ask about the place. Honorable Master, we were passing by and heard eerie tales of the ghost village nearby. Could you tell me what the village was like before? Expecting the master to be evasive, you were surprised by his willingness to speak.
Up to a decade ago, that ghost village was no different from an ordinary village. In fact, it was even more prosperous, but due to some incidents that happened over a decade ago, it's as if they were cursed. Overnight, everyone died a ghastly death, and their appearances were most gruesome. At night, if a living person passes by, they can often hear the wailing of vengeful spirits in the village.
Did the village offend someone?
That I do not know.
You open your mouth to ask more, but the master seems unwilling to divulge any further details about the ghost village. Not wanting to pry, you thank him and return to your room with Emily to rest. Noticing your preoccupation, Emily can't help but speak up.
Master, the ghost village is too dangerous. You should return to the divine realm and leave the rest to me.
You shake your head, your expression complex.
This matter is not so simple. I always feel like someone unseen is manipulating everything.
Besides, you need to obtain the spirit bead grass, and purging the entire ghost village of vengeful spirits is your responsibility as the Lord of the Eastern Realm. Knowing your stubbornness, Emily does not press further. As you watch the candle flames dance atop their stands, he suddenly asks with an inscrutable look,
Master, what would you do if one day you saw me kill someone?
That depends on who you kill. If it's a great villain, then your actions might be understandable.
Emoli doesn't respond. He just smiles lightly, his tone indifferent.
When has murder ever needed so many reasons? If I wish to kill, I will kill. If one must judge good and evil, then at the moment I brandish my sword, the world will find 1,000 reasons to slay me. Then, are these people good or evil? Surely in the eyes of these so-called righteous ones, they still see themselves as great benevolent saviors.
His words, like a pebble to a stagnant pond, stir thoughts you have never considered before. Were there not wholly evil people among those you had killed as an assassin? You frown slightly, your mind heavy, feeling a sour sweetness rising in your throat. You spit out a mouthful of blood,